Right guys, this is the new version of PCSX2, and now it's actually got GunCon 2 light gun support. It's only taken them 4 years, so you know, not too bad. So it's removed years and years ago. As you can see, my crosshair is red. Right, otherwise you've just got your mouse pointer on the screen to shoot. So if you want to change your mouse pointer to a crosshair, I'll show you how to do it. Once you've extracted it, you'll have this folder. Open it up, and here you will have cursors. On Windows 10 it was easier to get to. Just going to try Windows 11. Right, if you go to, you can either go through control panel or mouse settings. On Windows 11 sorry, you have additional mouse settings, and here you have your options for your mouse. So I'm going to go to pointers. On Windows 10 I think you can get, you can definitely get to this through the control panel. So if you want to change your cursor to a crosshair, you go to browse and then just drag these straight across. I'm just going to copy them. I've already put them on, but there you go. Replace the files in the destination. You need to have administrator privileges. Continue, and they're done. So now I'm going to go, I'm going to change it from red because it didn't match, but then blue might not match either. But I think I'm going to have the green one. So all you do is highlight the one you want, click open, apply, and now you can see I've got green. So that's how you set up and change your mouse cursor. Obviously you can't see it very well on the screen now. So right, once you've extracted it, it's got all the light gun games in here. This is just for light guns. Then we want to start the emulator. This is the latest version, but you know, if you ask me for the link, then I'll send it to you. And it's got all the different BIOSes as well, which are in here. So we're going to start PCSX2, and the first thing we're going to do is add games directory. So click on add game, then add your ROMs, and select folder. Would you like to scan the directory? Yep, scan recurring. So if you add them, then it will automatically should add to it. So now we're going to go to settings, and your BIOS depends on where you know you put this folder. You go to browse and just find the BIOS folder that's in the PS2 master folder, and select folder, and it automatically chooses the one that it wants. So emulation, if you just copy what I've got here, like enable multi-thread so it's faster. Graphics, I've got mine at 16.9 and full screen fit to window. Rendering, I've got mine at 5K. Obviously, you know, if you haven't got as much power as some computers, you can go down to native, which is the default of the PS2, but at the moment I'm keeping mine at 5K. This will also slow down if you haven't got a powerful computer, so you can go to off or default of 2. This just gets rid of jagged lines. Texture filtering, I've always kept it automatic. You can add different textures. I haven't tried because there's a problem with Crisis Zone where you get like a fog overlay. There was a patch for the older version that used the plugin system, and I haven't tested it yet to see if it works. But all the other games I've tested so far do work. I've got FXAA on, just makes it look a bit smoother. On screen display I've got CPU usage, messages, show resolution and all that. You can have it, you know, if you don't want show resolution, just turn it off by unticking it. Recording, I don't normally use that. Audio, I've never changed, but if you do get stutter, you can have time stretched, which I've left on anyway. Sorry. It should automatically make your saves up. I don't like it when it automatically saves when you exit a game, but there is an option to do that. And these are just like where it stores all the information. You don't have to worry about that because it makes them up as you go along, because it's in portable mode anyway. And all these I've just kept the same. So then we'll close that down, then you go to controller. I haven't used any of this because I'm just using the mouse. You could have it as disconnected, it doesn't matter. Right, port 1. You've got a drop down menu here where you can choose. Some of these light gun games work on the mouse and some work on GunCon. So GunCon, this is my Time Crisis setup. B is for when you come out of hide or go back into hide and reload. That's your normal trigger. This one here, the space button, when you first start Time Crisis, you can't calibrate it, so you have to press this button for it to bring up a crosshair. Then you can calibrate the gun, and then you can exit with, I can't remember which one it is now. Mine's on one of my mouse buttons. You don't have to do anything with the D-pad, it's automatically set up. So go to close. I'm going to turn down the audio a bit actually. Volume's on 25% anyway. That's okay. And there is interface. There is another option here. Graphics emulation. Just going to check. There's an option to use mouse. If you tick that, it doesn't work properly, so I wouldn't bother with that one. Global settings. Enable mouse mapping. Yeah, just tick that one and then your mouse will work. And you have to make sure double click for full screen is disabled as well. So you can't see it at the moment, but if you press the space bar, see it appears, and then you can calibrate it, you know, how you want. Oh wait. So there you go, and press A and B to exit. Oh, forgot to exit the game, not. Right, so that's the mouse setup. So if you go back to controllers and USB 1, you will find here, you should still have my profiles here. I have Crisis Zone, which does all the time in crisis. Police 24/7, this is a mouse game. So if you click on it, each time you still got still got to select what you want. So we're going to go with the mouse. Here you just push the left button on the mouse and right button on the mouse, and it's having a secret. There you go, middle mouse, and pointer, you just click on it, then move the mouse. There you go, done. areTwo. And that didn't work. What have I done wrong there? Arse. Right, now we're going to set up Police 24. This is a mouse game. So go to controllers. Make sure HID mouse is here. Pointer is, you just click it and move the mouse. Then you got left button, right button, middle button, and you go to new profile and you can save as police and click OK and click yes. Right, then what we'll do, we exit, start it up again, go to controllers, your profile, police, load profile, click yes, and here you have your setup. You're going to close and start the game. Middle mouse button starts the game. When it gets there. Yep. So that's that one done. I've got to figure out how to actually stop the game rather than exiting it. Right, I know Virtual Cop Elite Edition, this is also a mouse game, and this one was always temperamental to get to work even on the other game, the other version of the emulator 1.6 with the plugins. So I'm going to try that one in a minute, but first of all I'm going to try Endgame, because this has different calibrations and Time Crisis. So I'm going to go to controllers. First of all I'm going to load Time Crisis. I want GunCon 2. That should have stayed where it was, but there you go. Just going to check that. Yeah. So I'm going to have to determine what button does what to change it in the configuration, then save as endgame. Because my mouse 4 was skip scene. Oh, it's working right actually. Right, that one seems to work right. Could do a bit of mouse acceleration on it. I can turn it up on my DPI settings. Right, right guys, Virtual Cop actually works on the GunCon, not the mouse. I was actually wrong. Works on GunCon 2. You've got WSA and D to go through the menus. You can use the mouse left to do it, but it's easier this way. The only problem I'm having, I cannot get the cursor to show up. I've tried loads of different graphics options. I've tried pretty much everything. Just before I test it one more time, then go, I'll just show you all my settings that you can read. You know, most of them tell you at the bottom what they do. memory cards on this, when you boot up, you have to boot up with boot into the BIOS to format the memory cards on some games, because one of these isn't formatted, as you can see. Yeah, to format your memory card, you got to go to Start File. Sorry, no, wrong one. System, Start BIOS, and you can format it with the gamepad that way. So I'm going to try Virtua Cop 2 one more time, because I can't get the crosshair to show up in game. See, memory card is unformatted, so when you actually do the calibration, you have to press the space bar for your calibration thing first. Put your crosshair in the middle, then press space bar again, and it will appear here. And all you have to do is point off screen. Yes.
Virtua Cop Elite Edition.
And I've got start as enter. Right, so if we go down to options, see, I've got sight on, but doesn't bloody do it. Might not do it because it's under you know, gun instead. I put on reshade, but it keeps blocking the cursor, so I'm going to try it again. See, it doesn't show up, so I've got cursor here, and you see it, but then it locks it to the middle of the screen. See, I've been trying to find an option to unlock it, but it won't work. You can do that by pressing the space bar, and you can play the game, but you just got no crosshair. And it's blimmin' annoying. And I've got hide crosshair in game off. No, it's still. I'll just try it in windowed mode just in case. No. So you've got to pretty much guess where it is. So it does work, guys, but you know, it's a bit buggered. Well, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Not my best one I've done, but I don't use this emulator that much, so it was all new to me as well. Cheers, guys.